Hey, this is Matt once again. What about another video? Another paid request, this time for Ty. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Ty wanted me to review the Ron Clark story from 2006, which I remember this debuting back in the day. I believe it was on TNT, because I know it was a made-for-TV movie. And I think Matthew Perry, he didn't win, but he was nominated for a Golden Globe, maybe an Emmy as well. Didn't win anything, but this is based on a true story. How true it is, how much is embellished, I don't know, because I wasn't there. Because I know a lot of these based on a true stories get heavily embellished. It's Matthew Perry, who I liked. I like Matthew Perry as a talent. I thought he worked well as Chandler on Friends. I thought he did a good job working with Bruce Willis in The Whole 9 Yards. Not really into the sequel, The Whole 10 Yards, but that was a sequel that wasn't really needed. But The Whole 9 Yards was fun. And yeah, he didn't really find a huge amount of success. I didn't mind him in, was a Fool's Rush In. Thought that was okay. And there's a few others. There was one he was in. Was it Serving Sarah? I know it was one where Bruce Campbell was in it. Yeah, it was pretty forgettable. But I always thought he had a nice charm, likable quality. I thought this utilized that very well, because you take that, but then it wasn't just him playing Chandler again. It was him playing much more of a much less sarcastic, much more open, easygoing teacher that just wanted to do the right thing and just was a nice person. Like, with Chandler, there's that sarcastic, trying to be wise-ass wit on the TV show Friends. Not the case here. Now, he's a teacher that was successful for a couple years in North Carolina around 1994. After a few years, he decides to try to find a job, as he calls it, dream big, take risks, in Harlem, in New York. So he gets in the inner Harlem elementary school where he's teaching 5th, 6th grade kids. Of course, they give him a hard time. He's trying to figure out how to connect with them. And you just say it follows a pretty familiar formula. I mean, if you've seen any film about a teacher trying to deal with kids, whether it be, this is more a family-friendly version compared to Dangerous Minds. But I mean, there are films, Music of the Heart. There's a lot of films where a teacher tries to connect with students. There was one with Hilary Swank. I forget what it was called. Stand and Deliver with Eric James Olmos. He wasn't a teacher, but he was a principal. Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman. That type of thing where the kids, they don't listen to him, but he sticks with it. Although Lean on Me was a bit different, because Morgan Freeman's character was a bit not going to take any shit type of character. So it's, the kids don't listen to him. They don't think he's going to quit. Teacher's getting frustrated, but he sticks with it. Obviously, with Harlem, there's going to be something to do with issues that the students have that the teacher tries to help outside of school. There's the principal that doesn't believe 100% in the teacher and his methods. There's the parents that, what are you going to do? There's more important stuff going on. It's a formula. It's a familiar formula. But I do think Matthew Perry, his likable performance, I thought the kids did a good enough job. I didn't think they were fake or phony or annoying or irritating. I thought they worked well. I thought there's a little bit of humor that Matthew Perry puts to a performance. With his performance, you're able to understand why the kids grow to like him and deal with him. Because when he's trying to be friendly or he's trying to help these kids, you can sense the sincerity with how Matthew Perry plays the role. I think that helps quite a bit. And mostly it sticks with the classroom. It does go into a little of the outside world, but I would say this was a movie I liked a lot more than Music of the Heart. I'm sorry, Wes Craven. He directed that. Love Wes Craven as a director. Rest in peace, but I was not a fan of Music of the Heart. This one, I got more into. I thought it was a better pace than that movie. I thought I got a bit more of the gist of him relating to the kids more, seeing them. Because Matthew Perry will have these rules, and of course they make fun of the rules, but he's so sincere about it. He slowly warms them up to it. Ernie Hudson as the principal, which is funny because he's the principal in another movie, The Substitute, and that went a very different way compared to this movie. If you haven't seen The Substitute with Tom Berenger, it's a fun action film. Again, that goes a very different, and Ernie Hudson goes a very different way compared to this one. I kind of wish to have seen Ernie Hudson a bit in it more, or to see him. I mean, if it's based on a true story, how much can you embellish with the principal? I don't know, but I just would like to have seen Ernie Hudson play a little bit more of an ally, helping Matthew Perry out, kind of like Louis Gossett Jr. would help Belushi and the principal. But again, that's a different. And Belushi himself was the principal. Again, that's a very different movie. That's more of an action film, but a good movie. The Principal, I do quite enjoy that. I would say that's one of the better, for me, movies of that type, as well as throwing some action escapism in there. But this one idea is much more of a family-friendly, much more, some would say, dated, sanitized. Because I'm sure people nowadays would think, well, these kids would spit on him, try to fight him, try to punch him, pull out a knife, try to stab him, try to shoot him. Sorry, Matthew Perry. Or sorry, we'll cut you, fool. Put the knife in you. This ain't a knife. I'm going to put the knife in you. I'm going to stick you. I'm going to stick you and your friends. Put the knife in me. Knife in you. Stick this in your eye. Look into my eye, Matthew Perry. So maybe people watching now be like, well, this is... But I still found it entertaining in a feel-good manner. As the story goes on, him trying to enforce the rules in a nice way, like stay in line, don't cut in line. Hey, we're a family. Hey, you cut in line. Listen, if you admit it, everyone can go to lunch. Dealing with the rooms being wrecked with graffiti. Trying to help the kids stay in class. And again, Matthew Perry's sincere performance, I think, it rides on his shoulders. And I think he's the reason why the film works, to me, as well as it did. For what it is. For what it is. Again, nowadays probably people look at this, like I said, it's dated or sanitized, but like when there's a kid ready to leave, it's like, listen, I'll miss your glowing personality. But he's sincere about, listen, just, I won't tell anybody, don't leave. If you leave, they'll suspend you. Just please, just give yourself another chance. Come on back. Probably one of the big scenes is that he gets the kids to listen to a teaching of grammar by saying, every 15 seconds, I'll drink this chocolate milk. And who knows, maybe you'll see me puke. He gets the kids involved. He plays with them with jump rope during recess. He's trying to help them out, be there for them. You know, this silly stuff like, okay, you guys like rap, let's have a presidential rap. There's a bit that he keeps teaching even though he has pneumonia and he passes out, and the kids, they worry about him. Even though there's a test where they got F's on it, he later tells them, listen, you guys are losers, look all around here, these rules that you've been following. You know, you can do anything you want, and together we learn to love to learn. I mean, maybe it could be considered flimsy or what's the word I'm looking for? Corny. Again, I think for what it was, like I said, Matthew Perry and the pacing wasn't too long, and maybe people wanted maybe a bit more grit or a bit more harshness to the story. Probably the harshest is did is one scene which I'll get to. The likable performances by them, and that helped the film quite a bit. And no, I don't subscribe to this fucking white savior bullshit that people get mad. It's a white guy. Oh, he's helping the poor black kids. White savior. I'm sitting there going, so Ron Clark is a real person. Are you saying he did nothing? He did absolutely nothing? And I mean, or did you not see Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman? Did you not see Stand and Deliver with Edward James Olmos? Even football movies like Remember the Titans, and you haven't seen any of these movies? Yeah, like they don't exist. Yeah, like, well, you could do the story, but don't have a white person be the star. That's what I hate. The white savior. So what? If I watch a movie, I complain it's a black savior. What's this black savior movie? Black savior. Anyway, I think that criticism is ridiculous and honestly fucking stupid. I'll be blunt and say that, but that's just me. Get more into spoilers. Like the one moment I liked was because since like I mentioned the sincerity, one of the kids has a foster parent who abuses him. And the kid's outside and he's bleeding, and Matthew Perry finds him. And the kid's like, I don't know what to do, where to go. And like I thought the kid did a good job wise in his performance. I thought Matthew Perry was sincere and hey, listen, I'm not going anywhere. Like, hey, I'm going to help you. It even gets help from Ernie Hudson on that. One thing I would like to have seen is the foster parent get a comeuppance. They wouldn't do that, but like either Matthew Perry or even Ernie Hudson finding the foster parent and giving a smacked in the face. I'm sure again, whether they couldn't do that because that wasn't part of the story, or violence doesn't solve anything, or they're family friendly. But I would like to have seen Ernie Hudson or Matthew Perry or both just like hit the foster parent right in the face, just boom, break his nose or kick him in his raisin or raisinets or fucking his bullshit face. But yeah, the Ron Clark story. If you're a sucker for inspirational teacher type of movies, if you think Matthew Perry's just going to be Chandler again, he's not. And which was nice to see that he can do a little bit more dramatic work. I mean, yeah, there was a part of me that kind of would have been interested to see more of a deeper, dynamic story. And I think it would have been interesting to see Matthew Perry try to pull that off even more so. But I did consider a lot of those other inspirational teacher movies. This is a bit more, compared to, despite some of the scenes I mentioned, a bit more of a lighter fare. So if you're one, a bit of a lighter, a bit of more of a humorous affair, not as down and dirty with the grime. And like I said, it's like 80, 90 minutes long, and it went by quick. And for a made-for-TV movie, I thought it was directed competently. This is a decent enough little love story, but it doesn't get too much in the way of the primary story. And yeah, it really makes you like the lead character. I mean, from the very beginning, when he goes into school and he sees this kid's got like this little rat hair thing, like a little Billy Ray Cyrus in the back, and the kid's like, I can't. The teacher said I can't learn, so I should go in the trash. Which, man, listen, have a teacher try to say that nowadays. They don't be fired. Even if the kid has a little Billy Ray Cyrus tail hair. And, you get the look of kind of disgust in Matthew Perry and hearing that someone told the kid that, and he's trying to help him out. Oh, what's my name again? Oh, see, look, you just learned something. So let's get you out of there. That's the thing with these movies, is that you have to buy into the fact that these kids would actually listen and grow to respect this person who's your primary figure. Otherwise, the story just becomes fake, phony, and fraudulent. Like, you just don't buy it. Because of the way Matthew Perry played the role, you buy into why kids looked up to or got into the good graces of these other kids. I mean, yeah. Like I said, I do understand that people think Lace is a bit too sappy's not the word, but like I said, a bit too maybe too safe, or too. Some may call it too cookie cutter. I mean, I've seen much worse that were like Lifetime channel movies that are more cookie cutter than this. Overall, I thought it was a nice showcase for Matthew Perry. And it's sad because he didn't really get to do a whole lot to expand on his acting. I think this showed that he could play that charmful, warm role as well as incorporating some of his humor qualities to it. Would have been nice to see more of that from Matthew Perry, but that wasn't really the case, especially in movie-wise. But of course, when you pick movies like Serving Sarah, you're not really picking the best scripts. That's just me, though. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.